Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello and welcome. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new here and you are into lifestyle and mommy content. I am a mom now, which is like, it's so weird, you guys. I still can't believe it. Like, sometimes I look at my baby and I'm like, I can't believe you're mine. But I am super excited to finally be getting back into YouTube and stuff like that. Theodore is currently sleeping, so that's why I'm filming right now. Hopefully he'll keep sleeping until I'm done with this video. We'll see how it goes. It's my first time kind of filming after having a baby, so yeah, I am super excited to film today's video. I am going to be telling you guys my birth story. I did vlog the birth, but I didn't really get into details or anything or what was going on or stuff like that. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I'll link it probably up here or something. But yeah, definitely check that out. It was so sweet. I am so happy I at least got a little video just to look back and, you know, have all those memories and stuff. But one thing that Yuri did when I was in labor and all that, he took notes on his phone of everything, what was going on and things like that. So anytime something would happen or anything like that, he would write down the time and he would write down like what was happening, what was going on. So if you're a guy or if you're a husband, I highly recommend to do this if your wife is giving birth or in labor. But if you're a girl watching this, I'm pretty sure most women are watching this. Definitely let your husband know to be like, hey, when I'm in labor or deliver, or you know, when I'm in labor, take notes of everything that's going on. And I'm so happy he did this because honestly, when you're in labor and all that and everything, like, you honestly just forget everything that's going on or what was happening. So I'm really glad that I have like some notes and, you know, I can remember. I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen and stuff. So anyways, so as you guys know, I had to be induced. I had gestational diabetes in the 3rd trimester of my pregnancy. So because of the diabetes, I had to be induced. So I came in when I was 39 weeks. Well, I was like 38 weeks 6 days to be exact. So basically I had like an induction date set and everything. So we came in, the appointment was like at 9 a.m. They only took us in at like 9:45. We were waiting in the waiting room for like almost an hour. I don't know why it was taking so long, but yeah, it was really weird. But anyway, so we entered the birth, like the actual room at like 9:45. And the first thing that they did was they did an ultrasound to see if the baby was head down. So he was head down, everything was good there. Then they needed to check my cervix. So it was really interesting because the resident doctors, God bless their hearts, but they are honestly just so annoying. Like, that was probably the only like annoying part about like this whole like induction process or anything. But basically, like, a resident doctor, I think it was a doctor, she came in and she's like, okay, so I need to like check the cervix, and if you don't mind, I will check and then I'll have the nurse check to see if I did it correctly, basically. And she was just like, if that's okay with you. And I'm like, no, I think I'm just gonna have the nurse check me. Like, I don't want to be checked twice. So yeah, I was like really straight up. I'm like, I'm not about to be checked twice. Like, that's crazy. I'll just have the nurse check me, you know. So she was like, oh, okay, you know. So she leaves the room, and then the nurse was like, hey, like, don't ever be pressured about residents. Like, they're always gonna try to like do stuff, but like, just, you know, just say what you want. Like, you don't need to, like, don't be pressured. And I was like, wow, thank you so much. But anyway, so the nurse checked me and I was only 1 centimeter. So basically what they did was they gave me cytotex. So basically they just like insert something in your cervix to like try to thin out your cervix. So they gave that to me, and this was like around like 10:30. So they did that, and the thing with this is like you have to wait 4 hours for it to do anything. So like this whole time we were just like waiting around, like not really much is happening really, because like I'm only 1 centimeter, I wasn't having any contractions, nothing. So me and Yuri were basically just like watching something on the iPad and stuff like that. So it was like a fun time, I guess. But yeah, so we were just like kind of waiting around. Then they come in and she checks me again, and I'm only 1.5 centimeters. So that Cytotec only opened me up 1/2 centimeter. And I was like, oh, are you serious? I'm like, we're gonna be here like 2-3 days, like, you know, like it was gonna be that slow. That's crazy. Like in 4 hours, it only opened me up 1/2 centimeter. So they basically gave me an option. They were like, we can either do the Cytotec again and wait another 4 hours, or we can insert a balloon catheter. And basically what that is they literally insert a balloon inside and they fill it up with like water or whatever, and it like tries to like open you up. And they warned me, they were like, it's really painful, like it's gonna be really painful, but we've seen a lot of progress with this, you know, process or this thing or whatever. And I was like, oh, I don't know what to do, you know, like I don't want to like do Cytotec again and then like I'll only be like 2 centimeters or something, like if that even, you know. Whereas the balloon, like it might happen faster and stuff. So I decided to just go with it and do the balloon catheter. I was like, whatever, let's just do it. Let's just get this process started, because I was not about to be there for a couple days trying to like being in labor for a couple days. Like I just wanted to like get this baby out, you know. I'm like, if we're here, let's get this baby out. So anyway, so they do the balloon catheter. And you guys, it was literally the most painful thing ever. Like, I literally think that was worse than contractions, in my opinion. It was so painful. It literally felt like they were ripping me apart down there. I was just like in so much pain. Anyways, so they inserted it in, and then it just like kind of felt uncomfortable once they put it in. And I tried to like start walking around. Like it was really hard to, but I was like forcing myself to walk around. I was trying to jump on the ball, like on the exercise ball. I was trying to do things to like open me up ASAP. So I was like trying to do stuff. I was trying to walk around doing this, and then I felt like I needed to pee. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So I go to pee and the ball comes out, and basically what they told me was, we're gonna wait until this ball comes out and then we'll continue doing whatever, you know. I was like, okay. And I was like, how long does it usually take for the ball to come out? And they were like, oh, it usually takes like around 5 hours or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So when the ball came out, for me, it was 2 hours later. And so I was like, man, I don't know if I like shouldn't have peed or something. Like, I don't know, like, why did it come out so soon, you know? And Yuri's over there telling me like, oh, they're gonna have to do it again. Like, you shouldn't have peed, you know? I was like, they are not doing this again. Like, there ain't no way they are putting this balloon inside of me again. I will not let them. Like, it was that painful. I was like, no way, you know. So I called the nurse and I was like, hey, my ball came out or whatever, you know. She's like, oh yeah, that's totally fine, like it's totally normal. She's like, since it came out, you're probably around 4 centimeters. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's pretty good, I guess, you know, within 2 hours to be at 4 centimeters, you know. Then after that, they started me on Pitocin, and it was around like 8:30 in the evening at this time. So like they put the balloon at like 3 o'clock, and then they only started me on Pitocin at like 8:30 p.m. So like we've been there for like already almost like what, 12 hours, and they only started me on Pitocin now. They started me on Pitocin, they started with 2 units, and then they went to 4, and then it went to 6, like every 30 minutes to an hour. And when I was on 2 units of Pitocin, that's when like my contractions started. I started noticing that it was like every 5 minutes or so. and they would last like, I don't know, like 30 seconds or something. I don't know, like I honestly don't even remember. But I was getting it like every 5 minutes, and they were bearable. Like I was like totally okay with these contractions. I was not like in like so much pain or anything. Once they gave me 6 units of Pitocin, that's when my legit contraction started. Like that's when I started to be like in a lot of pain. The reason why I was in so much pain was because the contractions were legit not stopping. Like I was looking at the monitor and it was just constantly up and up and up. Like they would just not go down. And I started to be just like in so much pain, and I just like felt like I wasn't getting a break like at all. So I was like, okay, I'm getting this epidural. Like I knew I was gonna get epidural from the beginning. I was like, I'm getting the epidural no matter what. But since it was just like started to be so painful, I called the nurse and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the epidural. So she comes in, she gives me fluids, because before epidural you need to give fluids and stuff. So she puts me on fluids. They start giving me epidural, and this is already like 10:30 p.m. like that's when I got the epidural. So they gave me the epidural. The process went really well, but it was really hard for me to sit still because I was contracting non-stop. Even the anesthesian or whatever, the person that does epidural, he was like, I can't even do it when you're like not contracting, because you're literally constantly contracting. So I was literally holding a pillow. The nurse was like holding my shoulders, because like I guess you have to be like level, you can't be like sitting like this or anything. So the nurse was like legit holding me, and they did the epidural, and it went really well. They did it amazing, which I'm so thankful for, because I heard a lot of stories where like they do epidural and they don't do it good, or I don't know, you know. So I'm glad that they did it really good. So then they laid me down. After they gave me epidural, I literally felt like a new person. I felt amazing. Like honestly, I felt so great. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like I don't know why or how people go natural. Like why do that when there's something that can help you? But to each their own. But I just like felt like I could enjoy my birth. I don't know, I'm really glad that I got it, and I just like felt great. Like me and Yuri were joking around, we were like talking, and I don't know, it was just like a fun time. I don't know. It was a really cool experience. About like an hour later, so I got the epidural at 10:30. At 11:40 they decided they want to break my water. They wanted to do it earlier, which it was the resident doctor again. She came before like I got my epidural, and she's like, and that's the time when I was like 4 centimeters. She's like, I really recommend you breaking your water and blah blah blah. And she like started telling me all these reasons why I should do it and stuff. And I told her like, I don't want to break my water until I'm like 6 centimeters. I do not want to break my water any earlier than that. And she was telling me why and this, and I just heard from a lot of people, like everyone was literally telling me like, do not break your water earlier. Like don't break it until you're like at least 6 centimeters. So I was like taking everyone's advice, and I'm so glad that I did, because there's literally no reason for you to be breaking your water earlier than that, because you know, once you break your water, there's a certain amount of time that you have to like get the baby out, and if you don't, like they're gonna do C-section, you know. And I was like, I do not want a C-section. Like I am not risking any of that. Like I am gonna wait to like break my water. So then like later, like when the actual doctor came in, she like was like talking to me and stuff like that, and she's like, do you have any concerns or anything like that? And I'm like, no, but like your resident is telling me to break my water right now, and I don't want to do that. And she's like, oh no, like she's like, don't even worry about it. Like it's your body, you can do whatever you want. And I was like, thank you. So yeah, that's why I was not a big fan of like those residents coming in and trying to tell me like what to do. So anyways, they break my water. I was around like 5.5 centimeters when they broke my water. So they break my water at 11:40, and then literally like 50 minutes later, So like almost an hour later, I start like feeling like my epidural is like not working anymore. Like I was like, I feel like it's wearing off. And at this point, my sister-in-law was actually in the room with me. She came like when I got the epidural and stuff. And she was in the room and we were talking and stuff like that. And I started saying that, like, I started saying, like, I don't know, I feel like my epidural is wearing off. Like, I feel like something, like, I feel like I need to up the dose. Like, I feel the contractions again. She's like, what do you mean? Like, what are you feeling? Because, like, you literally just got the epidural like 2 hours ago, you know? And I was like, I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of pressure, you know? And she's like, where do you feel pressure? And I'm telling her, I feel pressure in my butt, you know? And she's like, okay, we are calling this nurse, you know? And I was like, no, like, we don't need the nurse. I'm fine. Like, I just feel like I just feel a lot of pressure, you know? She's like, girl, we're calling the nurse. And I was like, okay, fine. You can call the nurse, but we're gonna tell her to just like up my epidural and that's about it. So anyways, the nurse comes in and she's like, what do you, like, what's going on, you know? And I tell her, I'm like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of pressure, you know? I feel like my epidural is wearing off. And she's like, okay, where do you feel the pressure? And I'm like, I feel it in my butt. And she's like, okay, we're gonna check you, you know? And I was like, okay, whatever, you know? So anyways, she checks me and she's like, the baby's head is right here. I was like, what? I was like so shocked, because the reason I was shocked was because literally like an hour ago, I was 5.5 centimeters. So I was like, there is no way that in 1 hour I'd open like what, 4.5 centimeters, 5 centimeters. Like, that's crazy. So she's like, okay, don't do anything, don't push, like don't do anything, you know? She was like freaking out because she's like didn't have anything ready. So she's like trying to get the table ready, like all this, like. Then she like calls the doctor. She calls like the resident doctor. The resident doctor was not available. Thank God that she wasn't, because I didn't want her anyways. And then she calls like the actual doctor. She's like, okay, we're in room this, like she's open, like she's ready to push, you know? So then the doctor comes in and I start doing practice pushes. And this is like around like 12:30ish. So I started pushing at 12:50 a.m. So I started doing practice pushes. I started pushing and I pushed him out in 15 minutes. And he was born at 1:05 a.m. So which was so crazy, because everyone was telling me, like, when I was in labor, they're like, oh, you're gonna be pushing for like at least an hour to 4 hours, since it's your first baby and all this, like it's gonna take you a while to push him out. So when I pushed him out in 15 minutes, like everyone in the room was shook. Like they were like, how did you push him out so fast? But it was amazing, because like even though I had the epidural and stuff, I still felt my contractions when I was pushing. Like it wasn't like super painful, but I did feel like the pressure and everything. So I was telling everybody when I was gonna push, which was so amazing. I'm actually so thankful for that, because some people, they have epidural, they don't feel anything, you know, so they don't know when to push and stuff like that. So I am really glad and I'm really thankful that I was actually able to like feel at least something. And I was able to like tell them when I'm pushing. So anyways, so yeah, I pushed him out in 15 minutes and he was here, and it was just like the most amazing feeling ever. Like they put him on my chest and I just like, I don't know, it's just like crazy, because like also like when I was in labor, I was like, I am never going through this again. Like, I was literally telling myself, I'm like, one baby is fine. I'm like in so much pain. Like, I don't ever want to go through this again, you know? And guys, like the moment they put him on my chest, I literally just forgot about everything. I was like, I don't even care what I went through. It just like, you just forget everything, which is so crazy. And that's so amazing how it's designed by God to have that kind of experience. So yeah, it was so amazing. We're so thankful for our precious little boy. He's just like the most amazing baby. And I just like can't wait to share more of him on YouTube and just like show our life and our little family and stuff like that. So he was born 6 pounds 13 ounces. He was 19 inches. So he was just like the precious, most perfect. He was a healthy little boy. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. Like, usually newborns are not cute, but he's cute. And like, I don't know, it's just like so precious. And I don't know, I just had an amazing experience, honestly. Like, everything went so well. I had the most amazing nurses. The doctor that I had was amazing. Like, she was just so nice, and she was just like so encouraging and stuff like that. So I'm just like really thankful and stuff like that. So yeah, that is my birth story. I really hope that I like didn't forget anything, but yeah, that's basically the whole birth and the whole experience. It was the most amazing thing, and I would do it 100 times again, because I just so in love with our little boy, and he's just like, I don't know how we lived without him. Like, honestly, like I look at him and I'm like, I don't know how I lived without you. You're just like, I love him so much, you know. So anyways, yeah, so that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a like, subscribe to my channel. I am super excited to start getting back into YouTube and stuff like that. So yeah, be patient with me, because sometimes it is hard to like film or edit, because like he's still a newborn and I'm still like trying to like enjoy every little moment and stuff. So yeah, anyways, I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.